much of the technology that is now a part of our present and will be of our future, you had nothing to do with it. What worries me about present policy as it relates to technology is that present policy seeks to reinforce this feature of the future, in that we treat technology as something that we should consume rather than something that we should create. So there is this great confusion about the cell phone, and that bringing in tablets and cell phones and computers mean that we are creating a technologically advanced future. No, we are not. All we are doing is creating a future where we remain consumers of other people's technology. That's a fact. That's something that I've said many times and will continue to say. That we have a consumer fetish when it comes to technology, but not an innovation and creation fetish. And it is borne out in the facts. If you look at the impact of the telecommunications revolution that has happened in Jamaica, with the removal of the former anti-competitive structure, the monopoly structure which existed, and the expansion of internet and cell phones and computers and the interconnection of all these things. How much has it impacted on our GDP? Billions of dollars of investment. But how much has it impacted on growth? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves. So, let me come back to this question of the future and what we're here to discuss. So if the future can be determined by our actions and our decisions, subject to our knowledge, then what are the important things in determining our future? My interest is not to predict which future will prevail. In other words, all of you here who have management responsibilities, middle level, high level, policy responsibilities, government responsibilities, your interest shouldn't really be to predict exactly what is going to happen. Of course, you would want to know with some certainty what will happen in the future. But your real interest must be to ensure that whatever happens in the future, you can manage. In fact, the way to deal with the future is to be prepared in the present. Let's go back to this definition of the future. And I want you to just think a moment, what is the most important part of the definition of the future? Is it the series of possible realities that could happen? Is it the decision? Or is it the knowledge? Three parts of the definition. Things that could happen, the decisions that you make, and the knowledge that you have. Which would you say is the most important? The least important of all of them in my mind, and you can have a different perspective, in my mind, is what will happen, what will be the series of things. I think the most important is the knowledge. So where does that lead us as decision makers? Simple. Get more knowledge. Get more knowledge. And that leads us straight into the argument. The countries that are going to succeed, the countries that are succeeding, are those that invest in knowledge. They are guaranteed to have a better future than those who do not. I want to make a point. The acquisition of knowledge in its broadest sense is not exogenous to the growth model. When we hear our leaders speak and make decisions, implicit in the argument is that you have to grow before you can invest in education. You have to solve the fiscal problems first before you can build a knowledge economy. The truth is that in order to grow, in order to solve the fiscal problems and the social ills, you have to invest upfront in education. The lessons for policymaker is that knowledge acquisition must be endogenous in the growth model. That's highfalutin technology, highfalutin words, highfalutin concept. But in its simplest sense, every Jamaican must make the sacrifice to get their children educated. That's all it means. We have to put it as the number one priority.